Thank God it's Friday, and we have Chukwudi Okoli of Gwaja with us today. Good to see you, Chukwudi. I'm excited.
Look at you.
Welcome.
Look at the two of you. None of you knows that today is my birthday. I turned 68 today.
Oh,
Just a boy.
Well, you should have told us before we came on
You
air.
know I'm Sagittarius.
Congratulations.
We wasn't there when you were born, so you should have told
I
us.
turned 68 today, even though I feel more and more like a boy.
Oh, wow.
It's in the mind.
Congratulations,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Wishing you
Bless you.
all
Actually,
the
I
good things
hardly
of
remember the day I
life,
was born.
good health, and prosperity.
Wait till I know achieve.
By the way, where are you taking us to after the show?
We'll talk about that later.
All right. So,
Thank you.
Victor, you're exempted, by the way.
Okay.
All right,
Gladly.
let's look at what the papers have this morning. We begin with the leadership newspaper this morning, and it leads with expose, prosecute terror sponsors, Arewa Forum, oil workers, others tell Tinubu. That's on page 4, and just below that, below the picture story actually, we have Tinubu nominate Ibas Dambuzo as ambassadors, Senate clears okay, orders. Obi raises concerns over unresolved zoning issues in African Democratic Congress, and that's on page 28. Next to that, whatever it takes will secure Nigeria, Musa vows after being sworn in. That's about it on the leadership front page this morning. Other stories are within. Let's look at the blueprint. Now, the blueprint here says citizens bearing arms in self-defense not way out of insecurity. That's according to Kuka. Nigerians will sleep with 2 eyes closed. Musa Ribadu talk tough. Troops rescue 318 kidnapped victims, foil oil theft. Brilliant. You want to see above the masthead, we have customs release list of overtime cargo for condemnation domiciled at Apapa. That's on page 13. Below the picture story, of course, we can see Information Minister here. Idris wins Business Day Public Service Award. Congratulations to him. And of course, the new Defense Minister is also right here with his wife and the President. Below that, Dambazao Sulu Gambari, Ibas Fani Kayode, 61 others make Tinubu's ambassadorial list. And below that, we have VIO can't impose fines, seized vehicles, appeal court affirms. That's on page 5. That's good news to some people. And on the Yuletide, we have federal government warns airlines against cancellations and delays. All of that on page 11. That's about it on the front page of the blueprint this morning. Victor, what do you have?
All right, I have the Nigerian pilot, and the screaming red headline here reads, Discos exposed as AEDC others fail to deliver power due to its unexpanded network. Focuses solely on revenue collection instead of acquiring modernized equipment. Don't maintain facilities, forcing consumers to replace poles, repair transformers, others. And AEDC invests heavily in smart network expansion, metering, increase in energy takeoff, and that's according to official. That's the big one on the front page of the daily Nigerian pilot, and it's on page 4. And of course, the picture story details President Bola Tinubu, the new Chief of Minister of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, his wife, Ogogo, and some other VIPs in a pose after his inauguration yesterday. Okay, and police rescue 5 abducted students of Rivers State University is on page 7. Court hears Nnamdi Kanu's motion seeking his transfer from Sokoto prison December 8. That's on page 5. And whatever it takes will secure Nigeria, General Musa assures us on page 5. Quite a number of other stories, but let me just take this one and we rest from here. Senate urges urgent response to lead poisoning disaster in Lagos, Ogun communities on page 7. And finally, appeal court upholds a ruling stopping VIO from impounding vehicles, imposing fines on page 6. Chooks the boy, the birthday man.
Thank you, my dear. When I hear the name Sulu Gambari, you know, it does augur well for society when square pegs are put in square holes and then round pegs are put in round holes. In the field of diplomacy, you can have anyone better. It reminds you of the Bola Jakimi days when Emeka Anyoku held the reins at Marlborough House with his English not threatening that of the Queen of England. Anyway, I am talking about quality being needed among the people who are going to represent us outside the shores of this country. I am happy that finally steps are being taken, because if Nigeria needs image molding, this is the time. This is the time, given what is happening from Washington, D.C., and given how things are thematically changing on the African shore, on the shores of Africa. So I wish them luck. Whoever is going to scale through, let them please go ahead and do that. We need them to get into action. General Musa and Ribadu, they are saying that Nigerians who sleep with two eyes closed. That's a good one. But that bit about Kuka, not supporting people,
bearing arms,
bearing arms,
self-defense.
What he's trying to say is that, no, I've not read the story, please. This is speculative to some extent. I don't think many Nigerians qualify psychologically to bear arms. That is the situation as I see it. You might aggravate, escalate the situation you want to remedy by giving arms to us at this stage. A lot of training and retraining, reorientating has to happen before I would support that Nigerians bear arms to defend themselves.
But isn't that part of the evaluation that should be made before you authorize an individual to bear arms? Because I don't think that anybody, it's something you go into a shop to buy like you're buying butter.
Yes.
So you go through a process and evaluate you, and then you can have it. I mean, people do have it today.
But you see,
Exactly.
Kuka's point is that when peace eventually returns, what happens, to those who already bear arms? And then he also says that there are too many underlying ailments, in Nigeria, such as unstable homes, fragmented communities, weakened moral foundations, and, so many other vices, around that could make these arms, being used for what's not intended for.
Yes.
And I quite agree with him. Because, the cases of domestic violence, for example, we're talking about 16 days of activism, still in the mood, for example. So imagine a man, he may be evaluated at the time he was to get the arms to be okay. But you just imagine his wife does something or says something that gets him a bit above his usual level. What happens? He has arms.
You could,
all right? So, there are a lot of other issues that,
You could make the same argument for every other thing. You could make it even for jobs, that, as at the time we gave this person this job, it was okay to take this job, and later he doesn't look good enough to take the job. You could make it for anything if you want to make that case. Whether you were stable at one point and, you became unstable later, I think those wouldn't be the issues.
What I have to say concerning what you posited is that what's happening now is a case of the arms going to a very minuscule, a very small percentage of people. When it becomes an open case and more people can get it, then you would know that many people are not yet. They still filter properly because there are so few people who can actually buy those arms
And
now.
who still have them.
Of course they still have them.
So,
of course they still have them. You may have listened to me when I said that I took down 2 wild pigs in one night with a double barrel, 2/3 of the money that saw me through university came from the sale of meat, animals were shot at night. It's a family thing for me, When my younger brother got in the army, he was one of those who were winning the laurels at the shooting range. So there is such a thing as disposition to these things, but your psychological makeup matters a lot when this thing goes out to more and more people. That's the point I was making.
Anyway, let's talk about discos. Such a screaming headline here with 4 riders talking about how they're exposed, how they are not doing what they ought to do. They fail to deliver power due to its expanded network, focusing solely rather on revenue collection instead of acquiring modernized equipment. They don't maintain facilities, forcing consumers to replace poles, repair transformers, etc.
You don't want to know the chagrin, the anger I feel as I sit here. I loaded 20,000 naira at night and got only 88.8 units.
Yeah, that
Why?
happened to me too.
Why?
That something has happened.
Yes, that happened to me too.
Just last night, I loaded 20,000 naira and got 88.8 units.
Let me
You
explain.
hear what
Why
is
is
going to
that?
happen in the... Something happened.
Let me explain.
Something
In my
has
own
happened.
case, I did call, and I was told that I was owing.
Aha.
And I was asking, owing how? I've had this meter for over 8 years. As at the time I bought it, it was outright purchase. As at that time,
Yes.
I mean, I paid fully for it. And then I've been purchasing units. There was no debits. I mean, I wasn't owing anything. How come I bought units last month, I wasn't owing, then suddenly, after 2 weeks, I'm owing?
They told me about 5 months ago, oh, the 2.5 that we removed, that was when you got your meter. We loaded it, you took some units home and all that.
How long ago was
I don't know what happened concerning the one I loaded last time. And I'm going to the office as much as
I think that what is happening is they're just charging.
They'll resolve
They're just
it.
putting
I'm
unnecessary
confident
charges
they
on
will
customers.
resolve it. No problem.
And somebody told me, I think it's because, I mean, monopoly. If we had maybe 2 or 3 discos operating in a particular area, I mean, you can just move to another disco.
Oh, yeah, but that's the case in Houston, Texas. I found out that 9 electricity companies were providing power. So if company Yere misbehaves, company Victor takes them.
No, my company
the
can't- my
misbehavior
company
should
can't
come from
misbehave,
your side.
exactly.
You are the angel in the room, please. I'm sorry to have said that at all.
Well, everybody heard it first from you.
Anyways,
grateful
the
for
producer says we need to go. But Chukudi, you want to talk about this regulation, O-Pay, Money Point, Pound Pay, and others? You were kicking against it.
Yes, I was kicking against it because these are people I'm getting quick loans from. Where those big banks will tell you that they don't give out loans to, you know, they even handle it. I'm beginning to suspect that the big banks are finally beginning to think that these people don't they take them business from their hand. Though. We have to investigate this latest move, even though it's by the lawmakers, because rural banking is breathing strongly now because of these people. And their internet protocol works better than those of the big banks. You hardly have a case of their transfers failing. When something happens, they will tell you, go to the destination. It's clear from our end, you know? So let us...
Apart from when people take money from you purportedly to deliver service or goods, and they don't, and you can't get them to deal with their customers. That's where there's a big problem. They need to refine as well.
It's okay.
Anyways, I think there's inclusivity when it comes to these, you know, online banking platforms, and that's why our topic today is on people living with disabilities. How we can be more inclusive as a people. So we'll take a break.
We haven't thanked Chukudi, have we?
Chukudi,
Go enjoy your
you.
birthday. Start with some
Happy birthday
Arabian
to you.
tea.
Thank you.
Wishing you many good things. All the
Thank
good
you.
things of life, actually.
I'm leaving.
Leave
All
anyway.
right, so we'll take a break now. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.